and welcome back to another Q&A, Serbia Edition. In our last video, we asked you guys to ask us some questions in the comments, and we got a lot of questions. So we are going to try to answer as many as possible. We have our little notebook of all of our questions. We're going to try to go as fast as possible because there's a lot of questions and I don't want this video to be like 30 minutes long. First question.
What did your family say when you first said you were moving to Serbia? What were their opinions? I think my family immediately started researching everything and going on the internet, and I think Serbia is one of those countries that the internet doesn't do it justice because of all the hardships you guys have been through. They kind of focus on that. But for me, I didn't want to know anything. I just want to go here and experience it for myself.
Yeah, since Trey had already been living here for a year, I kind of didn't do any research. I kind of just like came because I visited the year before for like a week, and I mean, I liked it a lot, obviously, because I came back. I didn't really have any like preconceived opinions about Serbia. I kind of just like came here and just learned as I went.
I think one of the funny things was, though, everyone always got Serbia mixed up with Siberia. I don't know why.
Or Syria.
Or Syria.
So yeah, people would always get Serbia and Syria confused, and they'd be like, "You're going to Syria?" And I'm like, "No, Serbia."
Have you been to a nightclub in Belgrade?
Yes, we have. Before COVID happened last year, we went to the bank. And it was the best thing ever. I loved it. It was so much fun. You like threw fake money and we got like a table.
Yeah, it was nice.
What do you think about Serbian music? Your favorite song?
Favorite song?
I don't have any. I've never really listened to it that much. Only when Barna plays it.
Right. Like we don't necessarily have some favorite songs.
It's fun to listen to the Serbian version of American songs.
That's true.
I kind of like it. It's funny.
What do you think about Serbians in regards to how they look physically, their mentality, fashion, looks, behavior? Well, okay, let's just start with physically. Serbians, for the most part, they're big people, strong people. You know what I'm saying? There's so many tall people. It's like,
yeah, that's true.
No wonder they're so good at basketball. You walk around and there'll be like a guy who's like 6'8", who looks like he doesn't play basketball, but he's still 6'8", and you're like, get him on a basketball court. Or I guess I'll go on mentality too, like tough people. You know, like Serbians are known for like getting through a lot of hard times and prevailing through it. And so you can see it in the people. They're tough. Like some of my teammates, the toughest basketball players I've ever played with. So
fashion.
Yeah, you can take the fashion.
The fashion, I think, is like the girls, they're killing it. Like girls always look good. Like they always look presentable. They're always have makeup on, have a cute outfit on. Like they always look good. And like sometimes I'll like go to a restaurant like wearing leggings and a sweatshirt, and I like feel underdressed because everyone always looks so good. But the men, they'll wear like skinny jeans and then some like bulky Nikes and then like a Nike jacket or just like full Nike. Like they'll wear the Nike sweatshirt, Nike sweats, Nike shoes, Nike hat, like everything Nike. I just think it's funny. It's very different from the States. In the States, I feel like it's a lot more like street style. Are your friends and family planning to visit? Where would you take them if they were visiting? My family is not visiting. My sister is in PT school, so she's quite busy. And my mom, COVID is too stressful right now for my mom to be traveling. So they're not going to visit this year, but maybe next year.
Yeah, this year my family's not visiting because of COVID, but last year my family visited. My mom, dad, and sister, and then my two best friends visited as well. I took them to see Kalemegdan, Knez Mihailo, Skadarlia. At the time, those were the three places that I really only knew, but if they were to come again, I'd take them to the St. Sava for sure.
Yeah, all the churches.
And
they would love that. What was the biggest cultural shock? I don't really know what people mean when they say that.
I think one cultural shock that I think is negative is how much people smoke indoors. That's not a normal thing in America. I just personally don't like the smell and kind of the feel of smoke. But something positive, I would say how much Serbians value family, and it's really nice to see families outside playing, and when you go to dinner, there's whole families there, grandmas, grandpas, kids, all that stuff.
When they go to eat, they'll go and eat for hours. So like in America, you'll go to a restaurant, you'll eat for 30 minutes, and then you'll get like kind of, not rushed out, but like it'll be like, okay, it's time for you to leave so the next family can be sat and like they can eat their dinner. But here, like people will just eat for like hours on end. And I just think it's so much fun. Like it's so much fun to just sit and talk and like be in no rush. No one's like, the waiter like doesn't ever hurry you or be like, here's the check or here's this or whatever. You have to ask for the check. What do you like or dislike about Serbia, or like what's something that bothers you about Serbia? What I like about Serbia is that everyone walks everywhere. I think that's pretty common in just like Europe in general, but everyone walks everywhere. And in the States, like where I'm from in Arizona, I wouldn't walk to the grocery store. Even though like there's a grocery store like 1 minute from my house, I'll drive there because nobody walks. Like it's just not a thing. I always feel comfortable walking everywhere because everyone's walking, so you're always like, yeah, you feel safe and you're surrounded by people. And like it's such a fun thing for like me and Benji to go on walks and stuff like that. One thing that bothers me about Serbia is people don't know their personal space. People will stand so close to you. Even like in a pandemic, someone will like stand so close to you and breathe on the back of your neck, and that is like one of my biggest pet peeves. It's like when people stand too close to me, and I don't know, I just think it's funny when people cut you in line because you aren't standing close enough to the person in front of you that they don't think you're standing in line, so they'll just cut you. And I'm not like brave enough to say anything, so I'll just like let it happen and I'll be like, dang it.
Things that we like better here in Serbia and things we like better at home. Something I like better here is it feels like, maybe it's just because I can't actually understand the news or it's not like as in my face, but in America it feels like there's news being shoved down your throat 24/7 and everything bad happening in the world is always being shoved down your throat. When I'm here in Serbia, when we're here in Serbia, it feels like we're kind of removed from that. We're almost like in a bubble where we can like focus on what's right in front of us and really like be present in the moment.
Yeah.
And something that I like at home, maybe more, I think it's just more comfortable. I don't think I like that more, but it's just more comfortable. So
because we grew up there.
Yeah.
Like.
But I think both of us would attest to this. Serbia has been so special to us because it's our first situation where we were really pushed outside our comfort zone.
Yeah.
And forced to really, you know, interact with a new culture and learn and be uncomfortable. And it's been great. And I think we both can see how much we've grown.
Yeah, I just love Serbia. It's so special in its own way, and I just love the uniqueness of it.
Yeah.
And it's just, there's so many cool places, and like, I get a lot of comments saying like, Serbia is so underrated, and it totally is. Like,
I agree.
It's not like on everyone's number one
places
list.
To visit. Yeah.
Places to visit, but like, why not? Like, I would really just encourage anyone to just go somewhere that isn't a big tourist place.
I think the number one word to describe Serbia is underrated.
And unique. Like,
Unique
it's not like all the
in its
other
own way.
places. Each city is so different. I mean, we've only been to a couple, but like every place is so different. Even where we live, based on the city center, is like night and day difference. And I like how everything is so different. Okay, we are going to do a speed round and just answer like quick yes, no, maybe so.
Okay. Spiciest food you've had in Serbia?
None. I feel like they don't have very spicy food here.
Chicken wings from Fat Boys.
That's true.
Have we done any visiting outside of Belgrade?
He has, I haven't.
Are you both from Arizona?
No, I'm from Arizona, he's from Washington.
Have we watched any movies made in Serbia?
No, that would be really hard to to understand.
Like, it sounds like a good idea, but until you don't even know what you're watching.
Player 15, Denver Nuggets. Trey's opinion.
Nikola Jokic, best passing big man in the league.
Okay, are you aware of the hardcore ultras in Serbia?
You bet I am.
Do you find yourself trying to learn Serbian?
It's a really tough language with the verb tenses.
Like, he's really good. I'm not, but he's got it under wraps. I mean, he's lived here for 2 years, so he should. But if you could immediately go back to the US, would you? No.
No way.
I leave here pretty soon in April, and I'm like excited to go back, but I'm also like excited that I still have like 2 months left, that I still have all this time to like explore. Trey, tell us about KK Milato's legend of the club, Buike.
I think the name describes him enough. He's a legend. If you know, you know.
Okay, how was it flying through customs? So, I mean, Trey came here a long time ago, but I came in September, and it was fine in customs. Like, they said you needed a COVID test to get in the country, but I never showed it because no one ever asked. The plane was completely empty, and it was the best flight I've ever had because literally I had the whole plane to myself. So in April, I'm hoping that it's still like that because I hate flying, and like that definitely like reassured my anxiety. So hopefully it's the same. Questions we have for Serbians. So actually, we were gonna do a video on questions we have for Serbians. So maybe we'll get back to that. Maybe in the next couple videos, we'll think of some questions we have for you guys, and then we'll ask them, and then you can comment answers below. Thanks for asking us so many good questions. That was really fun to interact with you guys, answer some of your questions, see our opinions, and hopefully you guys enjoyed it.
Bye.
Bye.